Welcome to part 2 of setting up my little garage workshop. Last time I cleared a lot of the mess, got vaguely more organised and set up my new table saw. This time I'll be working on tool storage and hanging my workshop sign. I've uploaded a video on that already if you want to go and have a look at that at some point. This old shelf unit was here when we moved in and was not in good condition, so it had to go. I bought this kitchen unit second-hand on Facebook Marketplace recently, and it's perfect for storing tools that I need close to hand on a regular basis. Getting the drawers in was a little bit tricky. But once I put the right ones in the right place, I could start filling them up. And then get on to working on a worktop. I found this piece of wood in a cupboard when we moved into the house, and I knew I would find a use for it eventually. It was too long for the space that I needed to fit it in, so I quickly trimmed it on the table saw. It also wasn't deep enough, as I wanted it to overhang the front of the unit where I wanted to put a vise, so I needed to add a strip of wood at the back. I had a piece of pine left over from a bed footboard project, so I trimmed it to length. I then added some spacers to level up the back to the front and glued and nailed them in place. Then I added the piece to the back and screwed the worktop down. I didn't use glue, as I will get another worktop eventually that fits properly, but for now this will do as a temporary measure. Next, it was all about the shelves. It was so cold that day that a hot drink and a warm coat in my unheated garage were an absolute necessity. First, I emptied everything off the shelves, and being a little shorty, I needed a ladder to reach the highest bits. Once those were down, I removed the lower brackets to use elsewhere and tested some new shelves I already had for length, but they were a bit too short, so I decided not to use them. The old brackets were looking a bit crappy as well, so a quick clean and a couple of coats of paint tarted them up quite nicely and would certainly make them stand out better against the red brick. I decided to reuse one part of the old shelves, so I removed all of the nails from it. Then sanded it, just to get it looking a little bit cleaner. I'm not going to do a finish on it, it's only a workshop shelf. I had another piece of wood similar in length, and after notching out to fit around the brackets, I fixed the shelves in place with screws. Right, I've got this shelf completely redone now, so that's one thing done. But there is another thing I want to maybe put like a little shelf or something there. I've got two of these, and these could be really useful for keeping things like screws and stuff in. So I got to work drilling in some wall anchors to hang these drawer boxes. I needed some that could take a decent amount of weight, as the quantity of hardware could actually weigh a few pounds. Recently I've been storing them in little boxes and little cases, and now I want to be able to actually put them in these little boxes, individually label them, different sizes, that sort of thing. Sometimes you'll have 2 or 3 left over from a project that come with something, or sometimes you'll just have half a dozen left over from a box, and there's no point in keeping the little plastic boxes, so they go in these little drawers. I put all my power tools cases on the shelf, and finally I got to hang my workshop sign. day or so later, my Vice arrived and my little workshop is now functional. So this is it for this part of the garage workshop. I hope you've enjoyed it and come back and see my progress. It's a work in progress, so it's never going to be completely finished until it's all singing, all dancing and everything's bright and shiny and beautiful. But this is a lot better. Eventually I'd like to get some kitchen cabinets to sort of put in there, but if I can't get any second-hand ones, then I'll have to sort of salvage some wood and make some. And then I will eventually replace those cabinets and hide the fuse box and gas and electric meters. That's invaluable storage because some of those things I very rarely use, but I do use them, and so having the router up there in its box and things like that is going to be helpful because I can reach it and get it down, but it's not in the way generally day to day, which is good. The little boxes are going to be really useful because up here is where I keep all my little spare screws and things, so if I can have them more to hand, so they'll all go in there and then they'll get labelled on the front. This second-hand kitchen cabinet was £10 on Facebook Marketplace, and so and it's solid wood, and then this was a piece of wood that I found in the linen cupboard when I moved in this house a year ago, so I just put that in there to sort of work as a worktop, and it's going to get battered and abused on top, but at least it'll protect this because this is really nice. So anyway, I hope you've enjoyed videos about me setting up my workshop. Thanks very much for watching. Give us a thumbs up, don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Take care, bye.